Hi guys, hello. It's Nikki, you also known as Face Trader, and you're watching the November 3, 2020. It's the Philippine Market Update, Awesome 10X. So today, you know that it's actually the US elections, and so there has been volatility in the US. However, in the Philippine front, we noticed that the Philippines wasn't as affected as how the US markets have been the last week. As you can see, the Philippines continue to be heading above with up 11 points, still above 6,000, and it's trading at 6,335.56, or still 5% higher on that 5,900 or 6,000 mark. If you take a look at the stats for the day, the top traded names are still a lot of names, mostly on your telecom sector. Your Dito and your Converge had some profit taking in the past few days and continues to go down. Dito Telecom goes down from 682 to 662. Converge goes down a bit from 1478 to 1454 after rallying from 13 peso thereabouts. Now your BDO steadily climbed after hitting 87, 88. Sorry, it didn't hit 87. The low was about 88 point something, and it closed up to 90 bucks. Take note that BDO still has been lagging the rest of your banks, with your Metro Bank still above 40 and your BPI still above 70 and so forth. Your SM continued higher today, 2.58% up from 950 to 974.5. SM Prime steady at about 33, had a bit of profit taking at 34. Merrimart is very strong today, up 6% to 3.68, so it managed to close up. Your BPI is managing to rise one peso further at about 74.8. Jollibee climbed up after hitting small drops last week of about 168. Today it's trading 174.5. We are seeing some profit taking happening on your Ayala land. Your Ayala land is down to 32.8. Your Ayala Corp is down to 750 pesos. Your SSI is very strong with a close of 11% higher. SSI is now trading at 1.46. Take note that SSI has been climbing up above that 127 to 130 area and continues to go higher. Your ASEN is up slightly, 1% to 3.8. Your Frutas goes from 125 to 136. Your Century is up 8% after falling a huge drop last week to about 15.5. Now it's closing at 16.84. Your GT Cap is up 0.9% to 434, or just there. Your Mega World is down to 2.99. Your Cebu Pacific is also down to 38.1. Take a look of your top gainers. So your top gainers, you've also got some value traded on WPI, up 37% to 68 cents. The other big winners are so WPI, Fest win up 15%, but really very few trades except for WPI. But these are really I would say that they just happen out of the blue, so it's hard to really understand. And then, of course, your SSI is up, continuous up today from 131 to 146. Your Frutas is up, so from 125 to 136. Century Tuna. Your Tugs is also up 8% from 135 to 146. And so far, your top winners for the day are quite non-index names. As you could say, Mary Mart is also up 6% to 368. Your Bloomberry went up after hitting 7 to 738. And yeah, so that's your top gainers. Your top losers for the day, let's take a look. Top losers would be now Corp from 4.69, it's now down to 4.41. Your Chelsea had some profit taking down to 5% to 557. You've got some selling pressure on Dito Telecom, down 3%. And then your AGI and SM Prime still going down from about 794. AGI is now 776. Your Maxis had a profit taking to about 5.9 to 5.78. Cebu Pacific was also down. Your JGS is also down. Your Mega White is back below 7.5. So we'll take a look at each of these names. Let's take a look as well on some news. Let's read some news. Philippines allows land-based casinos to accept bets online. Philippine gaming regulator has already allowed companies like Bloomberry to accept bets online. This is a help to mitigate the losses due to pandemic. So PAGCOR has approved applications from Bloomberry's resort, Sea of Dreams Manila and Okada for betting throughout the internet. President Alfredo Lim said in a mobile phone message to Bloomberg. Shares of Bloomberry rose, just as PLC did, which earns from City of Dreams Manila, jumping 6%. Bellcorp, which is the parent of Premium Leisure, gained more than 2%. Take note that the nation's gross gaming revenue fell 96% in the second quarter due to the shutdowns to stem the spread of the coronavirus, with casino operators like Bloomberry posting losses. Gaming regulator has been pushing to gradually reopen land-based casinos after they were shut down in March as the government imposed lockdowns and travel restrictions. Offline casinos only serve offshore markets and catering mostly to Chinese clients have also been hit by restrictions and a new tax on bets. So I think that this is a positive news for your casinos, and we're gonna take a look at that. So far, your PXP, by the way, is still trading at above 12 pesos, and that's good because we saw that news. I think last couple of days ago about PXP, about the Recto Bank, diba? They got the green light to continue that. So Felix Petroleum is 12.48. Your Felix is down a bit to 5.38. Your APX is down a bit at about 1.86. Nonetheless, I think Felix Petroleum is being bought by the market. PXP is still trading above 12, and it's trading value traded is about 51.9 million pesos. Okay, so also let's take a look at some more news. Okay, PCOR declares dividends, press release. Let's take a look. Let's read this. So, okay, all of these are just dividends. Petron releases volume improvement in quarter three as economy reopens. Take note that Petron has a series of bonds and preferred shares. So they just discussed all their cash dividends on their preferred shares. Let's take a look at their material informations and transactions. Material information here says similar. It's also about the bonds that are due 2021, 2023, 24, 25. So it has a lot of maturing bonds. Take a look at the others. Clarification of news report for Frutas. Okay, for Frutas, it says here, more fruit picking and Frutas is firming up for their expansion plans. We intend to clarify the following articles. About 30 million shares of the leading multi-brand kiosk, which is Frutas, changed hands in the stock market on Friday at the price of 1.68 per share, on par with their IPO price in November last year, representing a 38% premium to the previous day's closing price. We heard that the buyer of this block is Ting of STC Paper and Plastic Packaging Solutions, formerly known as Styrotech, which is a long-time supplier of Frutas that has seen the growth of supply of the retailer and how it has transcended previous challenges. Ting's appetite to buy at pre-pandemic valuation was a vote of confidence that the company wouldn't only survive but even emerge stronger from the latest crisis. Ting bought the shares from Frutas founder Lester Yu, who had no qualms about trimming his shares in order to bring on board investors who can add value to the enterprise. Ting's entry as a minority investor is seen as an opportunity to collaborate on packaging development, machine and process optimization, also seen to help catalyze Frutas' aspiration to become global, just like Tony Tan Cantillon, who's brought Jollibee to many parts of the world. Frutas says here that they're also firming up their expansion plans with Jimmy Ting, the businessman. Ting is also known as Styrotech Corporation, which is one of the suppliers. He has acquired 30 million shares of Frutas from founder Lester Yu at 1.68 per share. In this article, it says here that we wish to confirm that based on the submitted statement of changes on beneficial ownership, President and CEO Lester Yu, through his controlled company, sold 30 million shares to Mr. Jimmy Ting at 1.68 per share last October 30. And we view that the management of Frutas welcomes the entry of this new investor will add strategic value to the group. So I think that one is good news for Frutas. That's why the Frutas stock went up. So if there was somebody willing to pay a premium for Frutas shares, actually it's trading at about 1.2 and it went as high as 136 for the day, owing to that report that there was a supplier of Frutas that was willing to buy 30 million shares or a significant amount for a long-term vote of confidence for Frutas. So here, let's take a look at Frutas here. Horizontal line would be 1.68 or somewhere here about 1.7. No? So they paid something here at about 30 million shares. They changed hands. So actually, if the owner wishes to actually control his Frutas shares, he can also just buy back some of his Frutas. So Lester Yu, the owner of Frutas, can actually arbitrage his position by selling because he was able to sell 30 million shares at 1.68 to Mr. Ting, he can actually accumulate 30 million shares out from the market to profit a 30-cent move, or about 10 million pesos. So something like that. I don't know if the market sees it that way, but the market has pushed up this Frutas from 127 to 136, and I think that the goal of the buyer here is to actually arbitrage that difference of 168 of and the 128, which is about 40 cents. So you will see some resistances here, given that this was the IPO price of 168. However, take note that there's also some sellers here at 153 and another selling pressure at 158. We aren't seeing a clear demand yet. It is a vote of confidence on Frutas management, on one of their suppliers, that Frutas can actually come back stronger. But so far, we haven't really seen that number pick up. So it could be from 136 goes back to 130 as well. But what's good is that you are seeing that there are people willing to buy that breakout from about 127 to 130, owing to Mr. Jimmy Ting's vote of confidence. So it's one guy versus the market. Now let's discuss SSI as well. So the chart of SSI continued higher. Take note that we were arguing in a lot of videos that SSI has to go up above 2, in my view, because of the digital transformation that SSI has been doing. Take note that in the last couple of days, SSI has rallied from about 110 to as high as 136, and has broken out today from 131. Sorry, that was 134. So it has broken out of that resistance, now trading at about 146 or 150. In my view, SSI has a business that is it's possible that it's a business that is evolving, because they are doing a lot of B2C. You see people saying but there's this global movement on direct to consumer. So SSI is knowing you as a customer, selling you online, delivering your Shake Shack Philippines. Take note that SSI has opened that Shake Shack Philippines around October 27 at Greenbelt 5. So they now have 3 stores, and SSI has displayed cost efficiency by selling a lot of their stores and closing a lot of their stores during the pandemic, and even before the pandemic. So actually, even before the pandemic, SSI has slowly transitioned itself to actually have less and less footprint, lowering their cost. And actually, it has shown, based on their earnings reports in the last few quarters, that they have actually been improving. So based on that, I think the market finally broke out. This is, of course, from March till October, November, or about 8 months of worth of accumulation from 1 to 130, assuming that this is a trend reversal. I think that the trend reversal goes at least $2, or around 2 to 220. That is just my assumption. It could stay a flag. So 150 can even go down back to 134. But my assumption is that SSI goes higher. For those who aren't aware, we were discussing SSI as a secular, potential strong secular investment. That you could actually check it again, September 10, 2020. I discussed SSI, and also a couple of days ago. You can all check it out at Awesome 10X. Other than SSI and Frutas, PXP has been moving up. So we also discussed that PXP has been moving up based on that Recto Bank news. So PXP here. So PXP continues to go higher. There will still be some resistance here at about 13.5. But do note that the trend is still your friend. That gap up was happening because of that news that Duterte has approved Philex Petroleum to continue with their talks of Recto Bank, diba? So there's that news uplifting the moratorium. Okay, what else should be discussed? Teka lang DMC, redemption of security, CEU, PSE, Converge. So down malaki yung mga Cebu Pacific, no? So it's just really a matter of Globe-owned Yondu sees higher demand for tech in the pandemic. Telephone, PLDT bets big on home broadband expansion. Cebu Pacific resume flights as Raleigh barrels away from Luzon. Let's take a look at these. PLDT and Globe at work to restore full network services in areas hammered by Typhoon Raleigh. So guys, of course, all of you are aware that there was a huge storm. And after Typhoon Raleigh, there's also another typhoon happening, Typhoon Shawnee. So all of these are Philippine we are a climate area, climate disaster area. More than 100,000 Calabarzon residents were displaced by Typhoon Rolly. Cebu Pacific will resume flights as Rolly is barreling away from Luzon. Nagsimula na ang recovery flights, ngayon na-delay dahil sa epekto ng bagyong Rolly. So I think like the flight advisory of both companies, both AirAsia and Cebu Pacific said that they've suspended, but due to the typhoon, that they will resume again. So in my view, the drop of Cebu Pacific is a temporary thing. That temporary thing could be taking 6 months or so. Hindi naman 6 months. I mean like a day or so in terms of typhoon. But for the market to continue to appreciate traveling, it might take 6 months or so for people to really travel. But the point here is that we are looking at siguro next half of 2021 that people will resume their flights wherever they need to go. Okay, so let me take a look at the comments. Okay, what do you think of the PHR price last Friday? And where do you think it's going to go on November 6th during the IPO? I haven't checked the prospectus of PHR. Teka lang Is it trading already? Prospectus. PHR's 1.12 re-IPO is cleared September 22, 2020. This preliminary prospectus, ito na ba yun? Hindi, iba yan sa US to PH Resorts, ito, preliminary prospectus. Let me see. So Philippine Resorts Group, issuer is Unicapital and then Abacus. And then it says here that they are looking at a price of 1.68 per share. Inside the prospectus, let's read the notice to investors. Let's see. I haven't read, guys. Let me just take a look fast lang. So the company is saying that the overview is that PH Resorts is also known as Philippine H2O Venture Corp. It's the parent company of Philippine Travel and Leisure. So it is the holding company for the gaming and hospitality arm of the Udana Group, which includes Lapu-Lapu Leisure. This is the developer of Emerald Bay, an integrated tourism resort to be located in Mactan Island, Cebu. On May 2017, Lapu-Lapu Leisure and UDAV Co were granted a provisional license by PAGCOR to establish Emerald Bay on Mactan Island upon the request of the company. So it's a Cebu International Airport, so it's a few kilometers away, and then the goal is to actually, of course, hold some casino stuff there. Construction, so they plan to construct the hotel, and it would be completed by second quarter of 2022. Emerald Bay will be constructed in 2 phases. The first phase expected to have approximately 4,514 600 electronic gaming machines, 122. So it sounds like a Bloomberry, based on these written stuff. The company expects Emerald Bay to take advantage of the growing market for gaming in Asia. So all of these are all it's more of a casino related gaming play. So these are all their prospectus, gaming and hotel, competitive strength would be the one and only in Cebu. And then of course, then the attractiveness of Mactan Cebu. That's what they're offering here. Let's take a look. Company's management team would be COO Mr. Angel Suwero, Ian Hackman. Okay, so given that it's a tourism play, I think that it will be comparable with a Bloomberry and a PLC. So given those kinds of prospectus, in my view, the market is quite bullish on Bloomberry. So I don't know the actual market cap of PHR, but it should trade significantly 50% below Bloomberry, owing to the fact that it's 2022 that they finished that they're finishing their project, and it's in Mactan, Cebu. So the market cap of Bloomberry, let's take a look on Bloomberry. So parang the market would see Bloomberry as a more attractive destination rather than Cebu, in my view. But I mean, of course, things can change in the next 2 to 3 years. But for now, okay, Bloomberry's resorts market cap is 80 billion. So I don't know how much PH Resorts is gonna trade at. Tingnan natin PH Resorts. Let me see. I haven't studied it. Asan ba yung mga news niya? PH Resorts market cap. So their market cap is about 15 billion pesos so far. So it's trading at a discount on Bloomberry. So dapat lang kasi it hasn't fixed their construction yet. It's gonna take 2 years or so. So sige, Emerald Bay Resort and Casino is a 5-star hotel targeting to open maybe 2022. They also have a hotel in Panglao. And then the base, which is currently in development, which is in Clark Global City, which is a premier adventure themed integrated resort. Investor relations, let's take a look at some disclosures, if any. So tingnan mo yung prospectus. Final offer term sheet. So it says here that they are offering 300 million shares at about 1.68. So they're raising about, sabihin mo na lang 300 times 1.68, that would be about 500 million pesos with an over allotment of 150 million. So it could be 500 to 750 million pesos. That share will comprise about 5.89%, or they're valuing their company at about 10 something billion pesos. I would say that the market is not gonna be so bullish because of course hospitality industry. Nakita mo naman yung nangyari sa lahat ng hotels, 'di ba? So si Bloomberry bagsak. Si Bloomberry kasi sobrang tinamaan, 'di ba? Like casinos have been really down. But I think like if you're thinking about 5 years from now, syempre iba naman yung picture. So Bloomberry so far, if you're gonna take a look on the last 5 years, medyo roller coaster yan. You can see that Bloomberry has been prior to ito kasi nag-ano pa yan backdoor to, di ba? But when it finished their backdoor, I think the final was about 15. So tapos from 15, bumagsak siya ng 4 and then balik siya sa mga 15 and then balik siya ulit sa 4. So parang roller coaster. You've got about 400% range in these types of companies, roller coaster mode siya. I'd say that bumaba pala ng 4, hindi pala $3. So from $15 to $3 and then back to 15 and then back to 4, 7. So actually Bloomberry is a roller coaster mode. I'd say that because the company is currently having plans to also allow online bets, it could help the company not be too bad, like not too negative. The land-based casinos can actually offer online betting, so that's a positive thing. However, you could see that Bloomberry, even if it rallied from about 4 to 8, you've got this resistance at 8 and you've got this resistance at 10. I think matindi tong 10 pesos. Malupit yung 10 peso na resistance. And syempre, mas malupit yung 15. So I don't think that we can hit this 15 anywhere within the pandemic, even after 2 years. So in the short term, I'd say that you've got support at about, siguro you've got support here at about 6 and 7, but you also have support, malabo na siguro yung 5. Pero if ever man mag-5, may buyer yan. So I think like there's gonna be a trading range for the next 6 months or so. If Bloomberry can recover their earnings, malamang papalo ng 8 or even 9, 10. Pero kapag mahina yung numbers, pasok sa 6 or 7 ulit. It's gonna be a trading range for Bloomberry. And I would surmise that PHR would somehow display that volatility, given casinos are not like the best industry to be in. So syempre, di ba, pandemic, wala masyadong nagka-casinos talaga. Ma'am, SSI or Bloomberry? Between these two, I think that I've already given an insight on SSI, but I'm not bearish on Bloomberry. I just think that Bloomberry at about current level of 8 or 7 or 8, baka may mga resistances na. Unlike SSI, mukhang kaya pa mag 50% from here. Pure Gold po, Miss Nikki. I'm bullish on Pure Gold. Even at 41, I do think that Pure Gold at 41, it might have leeway to go at 39, 38. But in my view, Pure Gold is steady. So I don't see like super blockbuster drop, but I don't see super blockbuster high. Assuming everything is stable, I think that Pure Gold should trade within a range from about 40 to 50. And of course, we were thinking talaga that there will be spike, but Pure Gold said that they wouldn't spike their sales because siguro people don't have money anyway, so there's not a lot to buy Christmas from, diba? So even if Pure Gold is a stable cash flow company, the market is apprehensive to pay a premium on Pure Gold. So yeah, so I mean it will take time, but I don't see a long-term loss on Pure Gold. 41 is actually an opportunity, even if it goes 40 or 38. MRC is a company that's a bit of restructuring. That's what they said. MRC is trading on speculation that they will be a solar renewable energy play, just like ASEN is, and just like all the others. No, so far you can see that this one has rallied from about 14 cents to 25 cents, consolidated, rallied to 42 cents, could consolidate again to 35 cents. You've got these resistances at 48 to 50 cents. So given the fact that it's already rallied about 300%, the trend is your friend, but if you're chasing it, baka you are a little bit late lang. So yun. just mind the potential consolidation. Do you suggest holding on to SSI? I think that you should hold on to SSI if you have it. If you don't have it, chances are a lot of people are willing to buy, in my view, at about 130 below. I'm not sure if it will even go down to 130 below, but I think that there's enough demand for that to continue. Tugs po, I don't know much about Tugs. So parang nagtataka rin ako nung umaangat si Tugs. Hindi ko makita mga news on Tugs eh. Parang wala rin akong alam. I think Tugs parang umaangat lang siya dahil hindi ko sure eh. Baka I need to read more. Pero I don't know. Hello, Nikki. Can you please speak about the weight band form for Filipinos trading in the US? Totally tax-free trading. Thanks. Yeah, it's tax-free trading. If you're an American citizen, you will have to pay for taxes, but there's actually IRA for you to save on taxes. So what you're asking for is the weight band form, right? So weight band form, tax treaty, Filipinos, USA markets. According to this, there's a tax treaty benefit. It's actually the weight band form. It actually means that you're tax-free. So that's really all that it means between Philippines and US. Investing in the US from the Philippines as non-resident alien, capital gains, to avail of lower, you're typically required to submit a form weight band to your broker. You don't need to think much about it because when you open an interactive brokers, they just ask you to sign, you give your TIN number, and it's tax-free. That's what it only means. It's tax-free trading. How much can the US elections impact our PSEI for the week? Personally, I think that the Philippine market has been quite resilient. And so any drops, any volatility that's impacted with US elections doesn't seem to be a huge downtick on the Philippine market. I think very low impact. Annie Lynn is asking at what price can we add up on Nicolasia? Annie Lynn, I just wanted you to know, because I remember you kept on asking me Geely. Geely Auto is very strong, went from 16 to 19. Hope you still hold it because actually it's going to say it's going to go straight to 24, 25. Chinese EV vehicles have been very strong in the past couple of days. NIO and XPEV, very strong October deliveries. Chances are the mark, of course, BYD has gone over about 300% up already from when we entered nung June. But I think like Geely can go 40, 50% higher. Related to Nicolasia, I think like Nicolasia is kind of steady right now. Philippine electric vehicles, actually, Philippines doesn't have an electric vehicle. So the only play of Filipinos have been to buy Nicolasia on that electric vehicle trend because Nicolasia is likely to be a beneficiary the more electric vehicles have demand in the next 5 to 10 years. So far, I think like Nicolasia at 375 has some profit taking. 350 might have some support. I don't know if it will even go down to 350, but I would surmise that Nicolasia would have some buyers there. Our casinos are looking good. Yeah, actually, so there's that news that casinos are allowed to do land-based, and that's why you saw that PLC Bloomberry was rising. That said, even if it's rising, do take advantage that there's some resistances at 8 and 10. And then, of course, I take a look at them. PLC has rallied a bit. Very small, no? So, but they're very small, up 3% only. PLC, then Bell, let's take a look at that. Wala pang galaw. So, PLC and Bell, yun lang. Wala masyadong casinos in the Philippines eh. Hold pa rin ba kay ASEN? I think yes. As long as, well, it's very hard to say when the trend will end, because I think like ASEAN is a global secular trend, because the global move of all energy is renewable. And since ASEAN is that special heart of Southeast Asian renewable energy play, I think that it's hard to assume where it ends. So just hold it. As long as you have it, just hold it. Nickel and FNI, Ma'am Nikki. So yeah, I said that nickel and FNI, no matter who they are, they would benefit from electric vehicles as a trend. So I'm still thinking that they would be a beneficiary. Annie Lynn says, yes, I'm still holding Gilly. Yep, you should hold on to it. What's up with Investa? I can't open the site. Maybe there was just a few, I don't know, but it works naman. Maybe just reset and reload. Okay, 30 minutes up. I hope that you are safe. Please be safe. And, Philippines is actually a company that, I think like you have to just evaluate what companies that you're willing to buy and willing to hold. And then, of course, given that there's a lot of offers, like those follow-on offers, you have to actually compare those market caps, given that it is a budding start pa lang. So I think what PHR is trying to promise is that they have a casino on site in the next 2 years. However, you have to also understand that there are existing casinos already. You have got Bloomberry already there. You've got the PLC already there, City of Dreams. I forgot. You even have Sun. Forgot, no? So Sun is your Tiger Resorts, di ba? Okada. Tama ba? Sorry, Sun is the Resorts Bayshore. Bayshore. Ano ba yung Okada? Shit, nakalimutan ko. Guys, saan yung Okada? Anong pangalan ng Okada Casino sa Pilipinas? Wait lang ah. Halatang di naman ako nagkakasino eh, no? Okada Casino Stock Philippines. Backdoor listing. Ano nga ba to? Tiger Resorts? ABG? Ano ba nangyari dyan? Natuloy ba? ABG? Parang di yata natuloy. Wala nangyari pala. Okay, so the only casino that is probably in the heads of people is Bloomberry and Soler. Bloomberry Soler kasi mas tune sila, mas lagi nagre-report ng numbers. Pero I think like yun. So actually AGI could benefit when Resorts World Bayshore also happens to get some future casino. Marami kasing casinos in the Philippines, pero I don't think they're still making money. As you know, all casinos right now are not making money because pandemic. But I think it will be a future 5-year thing for these other casinos. Lahat yan future lahat yan promises. So I really don't know much about whether that will be a good thing or a bad thing. So I'm more of a question mark on them. Very speculative, but if you don't want to speculate, chances are you're better off just choosing Soler. Kasi nandyan na si Soler, andyan na yung casino, and then City of Dreams is nandyan na rin. So yun yung mga parang mas safe if you're trading or investing in casinos. Also, I understand that not everyone wants to trade or buy casinos, and I respect that because of several ESG, di ba? Kasi some people will not want to invest if it's casino. So gaming is not a very much loved industry by some investors. So yun, you have to also know those things. Okay, guys, thank you very much. See you again. Please like the channel, click the like button, and see you again. Bye-bye. See you again tomorrow.